Today's video is all about floor work, how we get down onto the floor and then what we can do on the floor in these laying and rolling positions. So let's take a look at some floor work and how we can build this into our locomotion movement practice. First up today, we're looking at the spiral. The spiral is a floor entry skill from standing into flat rolling on the floor. So let's take a look at it. Let's start by taking a look at the spiral. It starts from a standing position and finishes in the seated 90-90 position. I'll demo a few from standing here and then we'll break it down into its pieces. Having a look now from the other side, you can see that I start with a stance slightly wider than shoulder width, and then it's a spinning, spiraling action that takes us from the standing position down into that seated 90-90 position. The first progression to learn for the spiral is from the horse stance, reach over to one side so that the hands are in line but just behind the feet. Make sure to practice both sides. Taking a look from another angle here, you'll see that the hands are just behind the feet, almost as though you're on one giant long plank. Practice this just to get a feel for the initiating action of the spiral. Progression 2 is the same as progression 1, but now we introduce the knee and shin slide. Reach down and then place the knee, the shin, and then the hip gently on the ground in that order. Make sure to practice both sides and stay nice and smooth and gentle. The knee, the shin, and then the hip. Progression 3, we start to take away one of the arms. So using the outside arm, we reach it across, spiraling the fingers back towards ourselves before we initiate the knee and hip contact with the ground. Make sure to turn those fingers inwards back towards yourself to allow the shoulder to comfortably accept our weight as we place the knee and hip on the ground. We're almost there, so the next thing to do is the full spiral action, which is completed by the finishing 90-90 seated position with the legs. Note the hand goes down, knee, hip, and sweep through, finishing in that seated 90-90 position. Make sure to practice both sides and try to get this as smooth and flowy as possible. It's good to practice 5 reps each side for 2 to 3 rounds. Once you're comfortable with the spiral, we can start to add in a 90-90 roll off the back. This is a nice little combination, using the spiral to enter the floor and then using our roll to complete the combination. If you're unfamiliar with the 90-90 roll, here's a refresher for you and some progressions to drill. Note the hand placement goes palm down and then we collapse the shoulder on top of it and then roll the hand over onto the back of the hand, and then we can initiate our roll. Notice that the knees just simply swivel direction, the feet stay where they are in contact with the ground the entire time, and then we can start to sweep the hands long through the roll to give it more effect. Make sure to practice going both directions. Here's another floor work combination going from the spiral into the starfish, which is essentially 2 rolls put together. Taking another look at that combination, we spiral into the starfish, which has a push-pull action, finishing in that roll. For a closer look at how to perform the starfish,
it starts from that same 90-90 roll position, except that we need that hand to tuck in underneath us as the other hand reaches out, and then we pull and push, rolling over our hand and finishing in the 90-90 roll position. This one takes a little bit of practice to get down, making sure to roll across that arm and push the legs out straight as you transition over the belly and finishing back in that 90-90 seated position. Here's a few more combination ideas from the spiral into different floor work patterns that I was just playing around with on this session. That's a around the world or a clock hands movement on the belly, finishing in that 90-90 position. This one here was incorporating a bit of a windmill action and then exiting using that 90-90 position as well.
It's the middle of summer here, so I am getting hot. Had to jump in the pool to cool off. What I love about floor work is it gets us in a relationship with the ground. So we get a free massage, and there's also just almost unlimited expressive skills and combinations and patterns you can do just in this one plane, one level alone. So if you didn't check out my last video, I broke down the 7 different levels of locomotion that you can play in. So today was all about floor work, that very first ground level. So it's almost like swimming on the ground. It's expressive. You can let the emotions fly if you want, or you can stay tight. You can do whatever you want. It's your movement game. It's how you want to express yourself. It's also terrific fitness. I've got a crazy sweat up already just from doing these patterns here today. So yeah, it's a great workout, and it's working strength, coordination, rhythm, timing, mobility, just about everything once again. If you want to learn a bit more about this stuff, I have an ultimate lizard crawl guide with over 13 different lizard crawl variations you can check out for absolutely free. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. And if you want to take an even deeper immersive dive, you can take my online Locomotion flow course, which is also available in the description below. That's an extensive course on dozens and dozens and dozens of skills in the world of locomotion. Firstly, how to learn them in isolation, then how to create combinations with them, and then finally how to improvise them into your own unique flows. So, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.